Hey everyone, and welcome again to the Garage Garden. I'm probably releasing a couple of videos this weekend, or a few videos this weekend. I just posted a video short time ago about my tomatoes, which I'm in the process of trying to rescue them and resolve any nutrient issues and watering issues. But this is a video that I just want to kind of walk through the whole garden and do a little update of everything that's growing. And I have recently upgraded and added some extra lighting, so now I'm pumped a little bit better for lights, so now I just got to keep on top of the nutrients. So here at the first bin, I've got collards. I've been chopping them up, taking off leaves and eating them, so come and go. I've got spinach back here, which I'm not sure what's going on. It's acting weird. It's like falling over, grows up, falls over, grows up. So I think I didn't have enough light on it, for a while. So I mean, even this little one is just kind of doing nothing. And this is all planted at the same time. Collard greens back there. Again, I got one plant. I think the spinach is kind of fighting with it, knocking it over, damaging it. It might be hard to see because of the bright lights. And then I have another one, Swiss chard, back here, at standing up bright and tall and looking good. I don't know how big these are supposed to get. I don't know a whole lot about all these vegetables yet. I'm still learning as I go. But they're growing. I've been eating them. I come in here, cut off a leaf, chew on it as I'm working. I've got kale, pretty good sized kale stalk here. Again, cutting it as I go and eating it. And let's see if I can get into this jungle back here. In the back here, this plant's here, and the one that's next to it here, the little one, a little bit harder to see, those are my Brussels sprouts. Now, I've never grown them, so I'm interested to see what's going to happen. But if you ask me, that one looks like it's doing good as long as I can keep light on it. And that's been shaded out by these kale plants. And I've been trying to chop these things down and eat them as fast as I can, as much as I can eat of them. You can only eat so much kale, at least I can. But it's doing well. I think it's just a matter of giving it the appropriate lighting, and that's the issue right now. Is I probably didn't need to plant 4 kale plants. In this one, I've got broccoli, and if you look at this stalk back here, pretty good hefty stalk growing there. That one's a little bit better than the others. I think it got the benefit of the same light the kale got at first until I moved stuff around. And then in the back two are cauliflower. So, a couple of cauliflower plants there. Moving on to the cucumbers. I've been hand pollinating them, and so far, I think they're taking. Let's see if I can find a couple here that I've actually hand pollinated, if I can find them. There's one there in the center. They're not very big. I did do a nutrient change. I changed up the ratio of nutrients so that I'm more in the flowering stage instead of the green stage, growth stage. But there's another one there that I pollinated. There's a bunch of them. I pollinated probably about a dozen of them. None of them have actually started growing too big, but I know that once they start growing, they will probably take off. And there's, another one, if it would focus. Another one there. But just a quick little tutorial, and the way I've been pollinating these is I break off the male flowers and I actually grab it by the stem. And I don't know if I can show you this without making the video too sickening. So breaking off the whole flower. And the way I've been doing this to get to the actual pollen is I take it and I grab it right here at the base. See that right here? Squeeze just a little bit, grab the flower and yank, and look at that. That is the pollen that I need to pollinate the female flowers, and I'm just taking this and dabbing it on the female flowers, and that seems to be working out the best for me to get it open. I've tried peeling the flower back, it just tears the thing apart. This is the best way that I found to pull that whole thing off. So there's a little tip for you if you want to try and do that. So that's that. And unfortunately, I just wasted this flower, but there is no female flowers to pollinate. So that is the cucumbers. The strawberries, I'll be making another video on the strawberries here probably tomorrow, Sunday, after I get done flushing the tomatoes. I've had the strawberries in water for about 4 days now, I think, and they look awesome. They are taking it up. I've changed the water out twice, and I actually dribbled in a few mild nutrients that I had already mixed up for the cucumbers. I just kind of a little bit into it, and in my bucket that I was throwing my debris into, I found this little guy in the water starting to grow. So I took him out, put a little water at the bottom here, and he's in there growing too. So I'm gonna try and if I get time tomorrow, try and start separating those plants so that they don't start intertwining the roots. I don't need to just, you know, destroy them trying to get them apart when I go to actually plant them in net pots. Moving on, there's the dill. And I'm sorry if the light is making it hard to see the stuff. So I got dill here. I've chopped some off, gave it to a friend. Chives. Chives are looking much better now. I continuously take this water and flush it out. But look at those roots. They're nice and strong and clean. I take it out, flush the water, put it back into a new container, wash the container regularly. Basil, doing pretty good. You know, I already chopped them, so they're starting to bloom out into a larger plants. Peppers, same thing. These 4 peppers that I have in the back and are doing great. I think they're getting plenty of light. I think my jalapenos in the front weren't getting enough light, so they kind of stood out and they like branched out a little bit too much. They're not as bushy or as thick or dense as those, but I think they'll be fine. I can always try pruning them back and cropping, you know, topping them again. Lettuce. I still have tons of lettuce. I can only eat so much of it. Giving a bunch away, eating it. Some of the plants didn't want to regrow after I chopped it, so I've been pulling those out as I go so that the roots don't contaminate other roots. But, you know, everything's still looking pretty good. I do need to go through here, though, and clean it all off, and yum. So, that's that. There's a little sweep of the tomato plants that I've been working on, you know, resolving my issues with those. So, all right, there's been an update of the garden so far. And I think the key to hydroponic gardening or indoor gardening in general is appropriate lighting. If you don't have a good lighting, your plants are not going to, you know, respond as well as you would hope. So, that being said, have a good weekend. And I will probably be posting a few more videos this weekend before I'm done. Have a good one.